So if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that this is the tarot room. The tarot room filmed the last time I decluttered, and you can see I have still got a lot of stuff. I like toys, I'm a collector at heart. I have lots of decks. I like collecting natural things for my apothecary. You can see here, look, trolls. The collections are coming in everywhere. I use them in my spell work. However, I have a problem. My neighbour was upset because my son's drum kit kept disturbing him. My son has an electric drum kit with headphones, so it's not like a really loud drum kit, but you can still hear the banging of the drums. So now, because of this, my tarot room is no longer a tarot room. It is a musical room, it is a drumming room, it is a teenager's room. I thought it was about time I give up a little bit of my space in the house for the kids and also to keep the neighbour happy. You can see I haven't finished in here yet, there's still loads to do, but the books are going, the tarot decks have gone, my desk has gone. So where's it gone to? Where to put it all? It's time for another room makeover, this time upstairs. But one thing I do know is a drum kit downstairs on a solid concrete floor on 2 rugs is an awful lot quieter than a drum kit upstairs making the floor pound. So this is my bedroom. This is my current state of my bedroom. This is what I call my altar. It's on a big old unit here with a secondary unit balanced on top, and I love this altar space, so I definitely want to keep some sort of altar up here because it's useful, it focuses me, and I love it. But I do need to make some space up here because all of that stuff from the tarot room that you've just seen has got to come up here somehow. Where to fit it all in without losing things that I love and use, just how to do it. Now I've spotted down here, now look, this is my daughter's makeup box that she threw out, which I thought I could use for magic, so things like that I might need to declutter. And this little tin table, oh my gosh, look at this tin table, guys. I got that second hand years ago. Isn't it beautiful? So that's definitely staying. But look what I've spotted sticking out from under the bed. Those are poles from my old wardrobe. And look, they're surrounded by stored artwork. I need to find somewhere to store all this artwork. Look, let me show you what I've got. That is ink drawing that I did. It's a self-portrait with an octopus. That went into an exhibition in Wolverhampton that then got closed down due to COVID, and I didn't get that piece back for about 2.5 years. Okay, what's this one? Look, it's another octopus piece. This piece is called Even Wet Wood Burns, and it was a magic drawing as a spell against a rather aggressive person that was making threats against me. And look, there's even more artwork. Look, it's on the shelves. Another octopus. You can see that my fascination with octopus energy is immense. So this was a ink drawing that I did on top of collage for Inktober a few years ago, as was this one, which is up on the wall, which has got other animals that I love, swans, and it's got my 3 children floating away in dandelion dream boats, and the octopus moon and raven feathers coming out of the water, which I love, which is why it's up on the wall. There's more artwork. That was another Inktober piece that was called The Outpost. Now that is a magic map drawing where the map drew the piece for me and I just shaded it in, which was one of the most surreal art witch moments I think I've ever had, and I absolutely adore this piece. If you want to see any of my Inktober pieces, I've got a whole playlist which I'll link below. This was a biro work from another artist I brought. Oh my gosh, is it Kathy Cullis? her artwork is a lot more expensive these days. I don't think I could afford one now. I think it's Kathy Cullis. What else have I got down here? Oh, this was another Inktober piece I did on collage. I've got spell ideas for that in my new room layout for definite. This is a canvas piece by an artist called Rachel Grant from Stoke-on-Trent. This piece is called Claiming the Ground. Rachel is a very dear friend of mine, and this is one of the first pieces I ever bought. So that needs to go up on the wall somewhere. I've got a lot of Rachel Grant's pieces around the house. But yeah, this one needs to go up somewhere. So there's a lot of artwork stored in my bedroom, which literally can't be stored in here anymore if I'm bringing the entire contents of the tarot room up here. I mean, look at this. This is sort of embroidery and paint and mixed media and old lace and photographs. And the story behind Rachel's work, oh, I love it. And then there's more of my own work. So that's a Morrigan piece with pencil work, pen work, paper cutting. And then my moon watercolours, that was the wolf moon and the sturgeon moon and the hunter's moon with a fox and a little mouse in the corner. And then also I've got these crystal and jewel pictures that I made with the kids. I need to find a wall for these, I really do. So honestly, I kind of just sat for a few hours feeling a bit overwhelmed. I emptied the altar space thinking my desk really needs to go here. And I sat looking at those uprights thinking I could use those. But generally I just sat there thinking, oh my God, what a mess, I can't cope with it. Right, so the desk, to make room for the desk, I went and grabbed this little narrow metal knitting table. And I think I'm going to replace the bottom unit of my altar with that. And look, I found the top of my lava lamp that I've spent a year looking for. So now you can see, look, the knitting table's there now. And yeah, does anybody else do this when they tidy up? Isn't it scary? So you can see the desk now fits. Now it hasn't got that wider base unit in. And I also put some poles up from my old sort of clothes rail that I'm going to hang some plants from and fairy lights probably. And it also stops that mirror from slipping, which is great. But the orb action, guys, while I was filming this, I just thought, wow, probably dust particles, who knows? But it was still a bit of a show, so I thought I'd share the orb show with you. So with the desk now in place, I brought up my lamp, which so many of you love, and yeah, it started to take shape. I brought up other pieces of furniture, the decks came up, I began to piece the altar back together again. I found extra things under the bed that needed housing. Look, the Morrigan altar ended up in there as well. So yeah, it's all been really busy. I stopped filming the rest of the room as I was kind of trying and work out spaces. I think I just forgot. Look, I found this under the bed, my little trinket box of different things, so that's come back out. But I am going to stop this section now and I'm going to show you the final result. Did I manage to get a whole tarot room's worth of stuff into this space? So it seems really strange to be filming back in my bedroom again, but here we are. This is the area that you just saw me working on. You can see the fairy lights are back. There's other changes in the room and exciting plans, so I'm going to take my camera off the stand now here and I'm going to show you the whole room after all the work. It's taken me about 4 days to do, but I'll show you now. The books didn't make it in here, they're in the spare bedroom, which I'm turning into a sort of library area, but I'll show you what I've done in here. So if I start off here, you can see in this corner I brought my desk up, so the desk now sits against what was the altar, pushed further back. I got rid of the bigger cupboard that this unit sat on. That's now gone. It is slightly over the door here, but at the end of the day that's only my ensuite, so that's fine. So you might see some things that you recognise from downstairs from my tarot room. I brought my ladder back up, which was all wrapped in fairy lights, but now it makes a brilliant place to hang my shamanic drum, which is wonderful. I used my old wardrobe poles I repositioned back up there to wrap fairy lights around. What is different with my altar space is I used to have this and the black cupboard in the corner for my Morrigan altar. I've kind of combined it all. It just seems so silly to have it separate. So I have got and you know, you see I've got some toys on there, horses, and the image of the white horse is really important for me with working with the Morrigan. I've got artwork that's really important and that was done as part of my walk with deity. So this one, there is a line drawing in there of the Morrigan as well. I've got dolls that I'm currently working with at the minute. In this first alcove here, you can see I've got things again to do with the Morrigan and Bridget. I do want to get some lights to light up these alcoves as well. I've got my rose essence I take every day, and then I've got some perfumes in here. I've got my Night Queen perfume, which I dedicate to the Morrigan. I also use patchouli. This is absolutely magic, this patchouli. I've got a couple of patchouli oils there. And then there's crow feathers. My mini cauldron, which I found in a charity shop, which is to do with the Dagda. There's the swans for Bridget. And my decks that I work with the Morrigans, so the Crow Tarot and the Crystal Medicine Oracle. You can see here I've got one of the Crystal Medicine Oracle cards out there, and a little crystal grid and some bound stones. Around the back there is it's a thoughtscape landscape that I can travel into, that I'm building over time, which, you know, is just part of what I do at the altar and in meditation. This one is free at the moment. I've got just an empty Frida box on there. I did think about building sort of Lego magic in there. I don't know yet, but that's free to come up with some ideas for. In here I've got things like tarot journals. These are tarot journals. These tarot journals, that's another journal. I've got books I'm reading, altar books, which I need to do a VR to you, Meg, if you're watching, for my altar books. So that's for ongoing books. And you know, you can see I've got toys everywhere as well. I've got stands and stones that I've painted with the kids, and a gateway of fairies. My inner child doll is there, and a protection eye, some of my most magical stones, a current spread that I'm working on at the minute. So that's it, guys, and it's really lovely, this corner, to be able to sit at my desk and to look at my altar as I'm working. I just love it, and I love the fact that I don't have broken up altars now. You know, I've got a nod to Gaia here at the back with the tree, and that's with the Morrigan as well. I haven't got it all broken up everywhere. You know, I've got animal energy on here. I've got my God and Goddess candle is still on here. I love it all. You know, I've got my shamanic drum hanging there, and the crown Tilly made me at school. Magic to remember to always wear your crown. So I love it. I've emptied out a few of these drawers. So this drawer is full of all the tarot decks that I'm currently working with at the minute. I'm absolutely loving working with the Hobbit at the minute. And in here I've got a few other decks as well that I'm working with. So I did get rid of the Morrigan altar, but I've still got the cupboard in here, and it is here. It's actually turned upside down. Look, you can see the legs are sticking up at the top. I turned it upside down so that it would sit nicely on this unit here. This has just got bathroom storage in, like spare shampoos and stuff. But look, it is empty shelves. Can you even believe that? And look at her. She's the first doll I've found a space for. This is a Monster High doll. This is the Scarier Reef, one of the Scarier Reef dolls. Isn't she just gorgeous? And it might give you a hint as to what's going to be happening on these shelves. I am intending in the next couple of videos, and I'm just so excited I can't even contain myself, to go and get my doll collection out of the loft, and this is where some of it's going to go. My doll collection really is Barbies. That's what I used to collect, and there are reasons why I stopped collecting, which I'll go into in another video. But oh, I can't wait. I would just really want to share it with you, and I hope that it's not going to put everybody off watching my channel if you don't like dolls. But you know, I'm being true to me. A lot of this love of dolls and collecting is very much a part of my magic, so and the way I use magic and the way I think about life. So to share myself authentically, I think the dolls are going to be part of it. Got my big toy octopus on my bed. My bedroom is noisy, and here I've got the road out there. So look at my bedspread. This dog on my bedspread is actually my old dog Maisie, my Irish Terrier Maisie. My best friend who lives down in Kent is a fabric designer, a pattern designer, and she designed this print which got sold to one of the major stores. So this print emerged in the shops with my Maisie on, look, and she's one of the guards, Queen's Guards, King's Guards now I should say, in London. So I love this bedspread because it's got my dog on, who is unfortunately no longer with us. On the wall here I've got some of Renee's artwork from Meadowlark Mystic. These are the original artworks that I've got from her deck, the She of Insight Oracle. And then I've got Mary's over there, and then they're kind of sitting next to some of my mixed media embroideries, which are mine, and also one of my pen drawings, again another octopus. And then on the windowsills had a bit of a change. If you saw my last HalloQuest video, I shared the 4 altars in my bedroom. You can see I've condensed the altars down a little bit, so spring now looks like that, and winter is now just Penny Clip Clop, my money box with the one doll and the one crystal. This unit here, this shelf unit, is now, it's come from the windowsill downstairs and it's now up here. This middle shelf here with another one of my collage ink drawings is part of a spell, again with dolls, really important. The deck, these cards are not from a deck, they're from a game, which is this stair game. And then there are some other important decks kind of to do with this idea here. On the bottom shelf I have my collection of trolls, look. You can see I've got a Frankenstein troll and a pirate troll and all this little band of trolls playing different instruments. A magician troll, we've got a troll on roller skates here, and they are with one of my Lego altars that I built. This is actually a tarot card stand, which I love. So that bookcase has come from the the shelf downstairs, the windowsill downstairs to up here, and I think it works really, really well. My jewellery with my jewellery charming doll has been moved to here, with a self-love mirror which I use for self-love spells. There is a little nook of collectibles in there. This is my shell that I got given on the beach. If you've not seen the story of that shell, I'll link that in the description box. Bridget is by the bed, she's for healing. And this little blue lady here, she's actually an Avon bottle. I've got a collection of bottles as well. She is one that I've had for years. Now she she's for dream work, as is this pull along toy here, who is also for dream work, hence all the amethysts around for that. So yeah, and I've got my picture that I found in the charity shop, which was to do with freedom and self-love work. That's all here, with things that were downstairs on a separate altar. They're all here, so they made it in. I found space for this unit here was also on the windowsill. Now this is my fairy unit with all like the flower fairies built into it, where I've got some of my decks stored. It is a little bit harder to get to in that corner, and the bags are a little bit harder to get to, but it still is all accessible. So that's where some of my decks now are, but the majority of my decks are in this unit here, which is a really lovely writing bureau. Now this bureau was it was being used, but it wasn't, the shelves in here weren't being used. I had all this space and all these shelves, and yet I just wasn't using it. So it just seems really unfair to have spread myself out all over the house when I actually have empty shelves. So all of that's up here now. That's really lovely to sit and work at. I've got my clamp here if I want to do any flip throughs. I'm working, I've got my card of the day from the Stolen Child Tarot. That was one of my decks that I said I hadn't worked with yet because it was too special. That's come out now. I've still got this writing bureau here as well, which has, you know, again you can see that this has, you know, it's got candlesticks. I don't even know what's in here, honestly. There's dolls, there's vintage doll's house furniture, there's some snow globes, my snow globe collection, there's essential oils, more dolls, room spray. These are Nintendo games that I have to swap over every night for Tilly. In here we've got my Arthurian tarot with the Mists of Avalon, Oracle, candles that I like, loads of pens, swans and crystals. Look, some more of my Avon bottles. So we've got a little cat bottle and a Paris bottle. I sometimes use that for spell work. There's a lovely present that my ex-boyfriend gave me. And these toys are these ones that bend, and these have been used for spells as well. And then in here, like you can see through here, again, look, more toys and rabbits and the salt and more dolls and candles and all sorts. The stuff from the apothecary I've got downstairs still needs to come up, and a lot of that stuff in there can also go back into this cabinet here because there is still a lot of space. On top, I managed to get my Lego altar up here. It did get a bit bashed carrying it up the stairs. I had to rebuild bits of it with my seasons on. So we've got air and earth and fire and water, and the seasons would be spring and winter and summer and autumn, is that right? So that's up here, and I've got my white horses and unicorns on there. My water altar as well for the west is here. Look, I've got another, this is a Ever After High doll, so she's sitting there. And I've got my travel altar, my travel box, altar box there is there, and this is a little travel spell box as well, is in there. I've got all my plushies up there. So you can see everything's still in here. Books and the other apothecary cabinet downstairs are going in the spare bedroom, so that will be another tour that I can show you soon. But I was just really pleased that I got all the tarot cabinets in here, and the shelf. I got all my decks up here, I've got the self-love altar up here, I got all the knickknacks up here that I work with. My troll collection is now out. I managed to get my drum up here, all my working desk up here, my artwork out, the fairy lights back up, and still have this space waiting for my doll collection to come out. So I know it isn't everybody's cup of tea because it is quite busy in here, but to be honest, I absolutely love it. I love it, and I love even more that Busby now has a place where he can play his drums and be happy with his drums, and the neighbour's happy, the neighbour isn't stressed anymore. So that's it, guys. That is my room makeover, my tarot room makeover. Now that all that is left to do is to rediscover my doll collection, which I will bring you with me to do. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.